Good evening and welcome to the City of Battle Creek, Michigan, and the Battle Creek City Commission meeting for March 18th, 2025. It is 7 o'clock, and we've had a very fun-filled meeting tonight, so we'll have a closed-door session that may last a while. We had some proclamations, and I'm very excited about these proclamations. So first of all, we're going to have a moment of silence for our invocation, and then we'll have our pledge. I'm going to ask Commissioner Morris to lead us in the pledge tonight. Please stand if you're able to for a moment of silence for invocation. Commissioner Morris.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Kotarski-Smith. Here. Commissioner Lacoste.
Here.
Commissioner Lance.
Here.
Commissioner Morris.
Here.
Mayor Banky.
Here.
Commissioner Reynolds.
Present.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Here.
Commissioner Simmons.
Here.
And Vice Mayor Sophia. Here. Thank you.
Our first proclamation, I'm going to ask the American Red Cross, Justin Kern, to please come forward and talk a little bit about our Red Cross. Justin? Thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. I am a blood donor, and I've given 50 pints in my lifetime. So if any of the commissioners can give me the equate or how many gallons that is, you'll get a night off. Just kidding. But I enjoy going to the Red Cross. When I first went, when I was a senior in college, they needed 12 of us, so they found 12 on our floor. We went and gave. I ended up fainting because I hadn't ate that day. So I took a long time off, and then I didn't get back and probably till right after I got married. And my wife has always wanted to give, but she went to law school in London, and the mad cow disease took place. Well, now just recently she's able to give again. So I enjoy the Red Cross. You guys do a good job. I always laugh because there's certain questions you don't ask the nurses. Number one, how long have you been working here? They usually respond, today's my first day. So I just want to say thank you. I'm not going to be able to read the proclamation tonight, but we appreciate everything you do. I think every blood drive you have must be sold out because there's always ample people there, and it's a nice event. So thank you very much for everything you do in our community. Thanks. God bless you very much. Angela Myers, are you here? Angela, thank you. Please come up. And this is a special one because Michelle Redmond had requested this, and her father is not doing well down in Indianapolis, and she called this morning and stated that she will not be able to make it to the meeting. But we have an event coming up very soon in the spring, is it? May 17th, and this will be to really emphasize the importance of getting tested for that cancer. And I would just like to have you say a couple things on it.
So we have Get Your Colon Rollin', which is coming back, and it's been a really fun event. This year it's going to be a bike ride, and it is family friendly, so we hope everybody can come out on May 17th at 10 a.m. The bikes will start, but it is from 9 to noon.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll say some prayers for Michelle's father, who's not doing well at all. But thank you for being here, and we look forward to the event in May. Thanks. I'd like to call our city clerk up for the next one. This is the second year that we have a proclamation, and also we'll have a resolution on our agenda to talk. Vicki, can you just give us a real quick synopsis?
So basically, it's to promote organ donation. Generally, most people will fill out a form on their driver's license or state ID stating that they wish to be a donor. It's really simple. You can go to the State of Michigan Secretary of State site. You can go online to Michigan Gift of Life website. It's very easy to do, and you want to make sure that you let your family know of your intention. There are over 100,000 people in the U.S. waiting for an organ transplant, and every 8 minutes, another person is added to that list.
Thank you very much. Next item on our agenda is Chair noting any added or deleted resolutions.
There were none?
Thank you. Next item is petitions, communications, and reports.
Yes, Commissioner Simmons provided his report from the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials Conference that he attended in Washington, D.C.
Thank you for that report.
You're welcome.
Next item on our agenda is public comment regarding any specific agenda item. If you'd like to make public comment regarding any specific agenda item, please raise your hand and we will acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You will have 4 minutes to make your comments. Please state your name and your address before making your comment and indicate which agenda item you are speaking to. Are there any individuals? Yes, ma'am. Right up to the microphone. Thank you.
My name is Crystal Hall, and I own the property on North Avenue at 243 North Avenue. And the reason I'm coming tonight because I came last fall. I'm still having problems with my neighbor, 235 North Avenue, where I've had tried to get 2 protective orders. I've had him banned on my property. I bought cones. I have no trespass signs up, and he continues to harass me till he filed a complaint with the city and against my 3 licenses with Laura. I can't leave my building without someone walking me out. So one of the complaints he filed against me that I have.
Mayor?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Which resolution are you speaking to?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to hold off to
Okay,
the
and
end of
that's
the
fine.
meeting.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to have the city manager talk to you after the meeting, too.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know if we can do anything, but he's the person who will be able to tell us if we can. I'm very sorry.
Right, thank you.
And I know that you've approached me before in a public event.
Yes.
Thank you
But
very much.
Thank you. But there is something that I do want to bring to attention that is going on with that per
Okay.
se business.
End of the meeting.
We're going to have a short meeting, so it'll just be a few minutes. Are there any other individuals like to speak at public comment tonight? Yes, Reese Atkins.
Good evening, Reese Adkins, 84 South 23rd Street. I will be speaking on Resolution 91. And I guess you're trying to bring in a firm not to exceed amount of $50,000 for low-income housing, and I just don't understand why we're spending $50,000 on trying to figure out what to do about low-income housing when, yeah, there's a need out there for it, but I've sat here and heard different proposals coming through. They're supposed to be already doing low-income housing, and now all of a sudden we're going to spend up to $50,000 to find out what we can do about it. I think that's a waste of money because we already know what needs to be done. We already know that there is a problem out there. And I think that bringing a firm in to do that is ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you, Reese. Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes, Kathy Antea.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Interestingly, I too want to speak about Resolution 91 because I am super excited by the idea that we are actually bringing in a consultant with fresh eyes to revisit this question. I'm painfully aware of exactly where this is all coming from. This is part of the consolidated plan and the work that the City of Battle Creek plans on doing on improving our improving our housing shortage, I don't think that's appropriate. Improving the challenges that we have with our housing situation currently. And while I recognize that $50,000 seems like a lot of money, I also believe that a fresh set of eyes by a consultant from outside of our environment is going to be necessary to help. Because, and I appreciate what Reese is saying about we know what the problem is, but there's very many specifics regarding the housing issue that are bringing up challenges all the time. We find a good location for some workforce appropriate housing or for some low income housing, and boom, the neighbors are like, oh no, not in my backyard, right? We decide that we're going to put some permanent supportive housing in a location. Quite frankly, I think it's a terrible location. I know it's kind of close to some of the stuff that they need, but the problem is we need to help people that are looking to improve their living situation. We need to make sure, ensure that their housing is located in an area that may not have easy access to all the problems that they have encountered in the past. Because permanent supportive housing means more than just having someone help you do your budget. There's more involved to it than that. And I think an outside consultant is a perfect person to help us look more clearly at our situation. Because as we all know, once you've been in a situation for a long time, you kind of get blind to it. You see the same stuff all over the place, and you just tend to ignore it. So I think a fresh set of eyes is really good. I also know that they've gone through quite a little vetting process to find this particular contractor, aligned planning, and I've done a little research myself, and I think that they are fairly well qualified to help us with this. I'm really excited about being involved in the consolidated plan and the housing steering committee, or whatever they're kind of loosely calling it, because I don't want to say I'm in charge of anything, that's for sure. But I do believe that they're moving forward in a proper manner, and I think that having this outside consultant is really necessary. So although I recognize it's on the consent agenda, I was hoping there would be no issues and that all of the commissioners would support this particular proposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy. Any other public comments at this time? John?
John Kennefic, 234 South Avenue. Interesting that with what was just said is a consulting eyes that has a fresh view of what they're looking at and not somebody that's already been here and is already pre-programmed. I remember within 1 or 2 commission meetings ago, just as a reference, that they were going to hire a police officer, and there were no fresh eyes there. They were hiring within the system, so there's kind of a contradiction. Before you didn't have fresh eyes, now you want fresh eyes. Very simple in regards to Resolution 91. Is that an essential service of Battle Creek? This resolution of $50,000. Police department, fire department, street department, sewer department, water department. Those are the essential services. So you're spending $50,000 for a consultant for housing. I heard the mayor of Battle Creek say one time that we have low-income housing going to be set up in 3 different locations. One over by the old Kmart and across from the fire department or thereabouts and like that. And while I'm listening to that $50,000 and these things, he says, we need the people, the population of Battle Creek, which I find to be, of course, hypocritical, because we have a system in place that got rid of more than 80 houses minimum, destroyed them, because they were low-income people, and they didn't comply fast enough to the government of Battle Creek. They gave them a certain time period, and they said, you either fix this or we'll put you in jail. So they left the properties, and they got in worse shape, and then you spent a lot of money demolishing buildings. So is that going to be an open situation where you're going to start looking at what you have left and not destroying it? I've seen a number of houses, particularly at 28 or 26 Highway by Mr. and Mrs. Barnes. They were living there. They kept their property up. It's no longer there. It was destroyed. So when you're looking for housing and wanting to keep the population up, maybe you might want to be not being part of the problem instead of being part of the solution. This is $50,000 that's going towards things that, in essence, are not as important as the fire stations that need to be rebuilt. But then again, that's never stopped you before. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comments at this time? Seeing none. Next item on agenda is commission comment regarding meeting and business.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the consent agenda. Is there any comments by the commission?
Yes, I would like to have a resolution 90 pulled.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Again.
Any other comments? Seeing none, would you please?
Mayor, can I
Yes.
make a comment about something, without pulling it, make a comment about it, or do we reserve that to the end of the meeting?
Why don't we comment about it when we come to the next resolution, which will be 90? Is that the one you want?
No, I wanted to talk, I'll talk about it at the end of the meeting. Actually, we can't really talk about it without pulling it, right?
I thought you wanted to talk about 90.
No, I want to talk about the one that we were just talking about, the housing grant, but.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Just saying, I just wanted to say that it is a $50,000 grant from MISTA specifically for this purpose. Not like we're pulling $50,000 out of our general fund to spend on a consultant. And having just been to Washington DC for a National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials, this crisis is nationwide, and communities need to be doing all of the above for housing, low income, medium income, everywhere. So I'm supportive of this. So we'll leave it on there and vote for it.
We'll attach that to your report.
Thanks.
All right, seeing no further comments about the consent agenda, would you please vote on the consent agenda? The consent agenda has been approved, and that includes Resolution 91. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 90. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
A resolution seeking authorization for a change order to contract number 2025-53B for bathroom renovations project with Schweitzer Incorporated for unseen electrical and plumbing work in a not-to-exceed amount of $44,149.15.
Move to approve Resolution 90.
Been moved and supported to approve Resolution 90. Commissioner, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, so I guess I was just curious if there was like an itemization, and I know that this is coming like during work that's already been contracted, but as this has come about, I'm just wondering like I guess the itemization for the amount, if there is one.
Let me ask Katie Norton, who's here, who's been managing that project. Katie, can you speak to that?
Yes, in the effort to build an ADA compliant restroom on our first floor, we discovered, we went through all our archives looking for any original drawings and specs in the building to make sure that the location we were moving the women's restroom door to make way for the new ADA compliant restroom. We weren't able to identify anything that would be in the way, in the wall, in the area of that location. And sadly, when we opened the wall, we found 6 different electrical conduits running up from the basement all the way to the 4th floor of City Hall. So 5 or 6 stories that we'll have to pull the electrical from. They'll have to work on the weekends because they're going to have to shut down the entire building's power and then relocate it around the new door location.
But still like in the wall, like they're gonna put it, like essentially just move it over?
Yeah, but it's pretty major power. It's our phase 1 power that runs all our air handler units for the HVAC and the entire west end of the building from basement to attic. And it wasn't discovered because it wasn't in any of the original drawings and specs or from the 1984 remodel that was conducted. It doesn't say anywhere on any of the electrical drawings that that existed in that space.
And then I know you said that you have to pull them up now. Are you going to have to take any more like walls out or anything like that?
No, so it's weekend work, like I said. It's not cheap work. I mean, we found a couple of sewer and water lines in there as well that wasn't identified. But the main power of the building has to be completely shut down 2 weekends in a row, and they have to pull the main power from our main feed into the building, disconnect it, run new conduit, and then fish it back through the new conduit.
Okay,
So it's pretty extensive, unfortunately.
okay.
Commissioner LaCrosse?
I'm just wondering, I guess, how many people are going to be working this weekend that it's going to cost $44,000? Because that seems like such a big amount.
Right.
I understand that we have this company and they're already working and that it's, you know, easier to just have them do the work, but for an amount that big, I would rather see
It's
what other companies can do it.
Union Electric that will be conducting the work, and all of our construction projects are prevailing wage, so they expect 2 complete Saturdays in a row for 8 hours to conduct this work because it's significant power, like it's substantial.
When you say substantial, I guess, the conduits, they have to fish it through. I mean, I've done that with my own home. And there's like the
Yeah.
sewer line I know that has to be moved over, but
Right.
they
Yeah.
don't have to open up a wall, they're just fishing it through each?
So the wall is already open.
Right, but you said it has to
Yeah.
go up to several different floors?
Yes, to relocate. We have to disconnect the power from the main line. There are 3, I don't try to describe the size to you. There are 3 conduits that run all 3 of our air handler units, and those are at least 2 inches wide apiece, and so the electrical inside it is significant. And then the main phase 1 power that runs the rest of the building, there are 3 of those, and those are at least 3-inch conduits apiece. So the power line inside of those are significant.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, if I might just interject quickly too, it might be helpful to commissioners. There is a cover letter from Schweitzer in the backup material that does give kind of a bullet point breakdown of the work that needs to be done. So you can see the conduit work, the electrical work that Katie's talking about, the installation that's needed, the demolition of a 4-inch sanitary sewer line, furnishing, installing new pipe and fitting, removal of pipe around new door opening, install new valve, domestic water line, et cetera. So it provides a more detailed scope of the work that might be helpful in understanding the total cost.
And I want to explain too, our basement floor that they have to pull it through, City Hall's floors are made of terracotta bricks that are held together by pressure. Have you ever played the break the ice game with a child?
Gotcha.
So there's steel grids, and the floor is put together by pressure between. So
Okay.
any drilling that they have to do, they have to be very careful that the floor will not collapse.
Got it, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that helps a
Okay.
lot.
Okay.
Any other questions? Commissioner Simmons?
Just a quick question about our policy. The original contract on this was $121,000, and we're asking for a change order of $44,000.
I know. It was very
I do government
unexpected.
contracting,
Yes.
and typically change orders aren't such a large percentage. This was like, that's a third of it, of
Yes.
the actual original cost.
Yes.
And at what point does, and within, I don't know if it's a city regulation, what point do we
Right.
say, okay, this is such a significant, we're going to put this
Right.
back out for bid rather than just giving it to, and I know government contractors many times hope for change orders so they can,
Yeah.
they can come
I
back on
understand.
us and they can make even more money and they
Right.
and I'm not saying Schweitzer's doing this or
Right.
Union Electric, but sometimes I've seen where good government contractors gouge on change orders. So please share your thoughts on that.
I don't know if Ted can answer that question for you. It's just that we started this project. Typically, we don't have changers to this significance. Like, it was
Yeah.
a shock to both of us.
Yeah.
And we even debated potentially putting it back if needed to, but at that point, we had already taken off the marble wains coating from inside the area, and some of it has cracked. Luckily, we didn't need to use it all. We were going to relocate it out into the hallway, but putting it back was not really an option at a point. We had destroyed, to get into the wall, we had to break a lot of that terracotta brick.
Yeah, just to back up what Katie's saying, your point's a legitimate one, Commissioner. We looked at it and said, you know, that's a little bit larger percentage that we would normally want to authorize for a change order on a project of this size. But in evaluating all of the circumstances involved, how far we are into the project, you know, there's mobilization costs with any contractor, and you save that if you're using the contractors you were already using. So, you know, after a considerable amount of evaluation, including, you know, do we need to back off this project? But recognizing we do need an ADA compliant bathroom on the first floor. We have users that need that service. We just decided to go ahead with it. Thank you.
And to give you a little background too, I did investigate trying to remodel the current restrooms that we have to make them ADA compliant. The square footage of them was not large enough to accommodate an ADA stall. And if I removed a toilet from any of our bathrooms, we would break the occupancy code. So that was the whole reason for adding the additional bathroom.
Thank you very much. Any other commission comments? Seeing none, please vote on Resolution 90.
Thank you.
Resolution 90 has been approved. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 93. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This resolution, if approved, indicates the city's intent to seek support for the rehabilitation and preventive maintenance of 4 Battle Creek bridges and authorizes the city manager or city employee designee to seek federal and/or state financial participation in these projects. Passage of this resolution is necessary to secure financial assistance through the state of Michigan.
Move to approve Resolution 93.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 93. Are there any comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 93? Next item, Resolution 93 has been approved. Next resolution on our agenda is Resolution 94. Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
This resolution, if approved, authorizes the interim city manager for the city of Battle Creek to sign contract number 25-5080 from the Michigan Department of Transportation for shared streets and spaces grant funding awarded to Battle Creek Transit and any additional documentation necessary moving forward.
Move to approve Resolution 94.
Support.
So moved and supported to approve Resolution 94. Are there any comments by the commission on 94? Seeing none, please vote on Resolution 94. Resolution 94 has been approved. Next resolution on our agenda is Resolution 95.
If approved, this resolution, in accordance with the revised flag policy, hereby authorizes staff to fly the Donate Life flag at City Hall from noon on April 1, 2025 through April 30, 2025. This request comes to the City Commission by way of Mayor Banky with the support of Commissioners Morris, O'Donnell, and Reynolds.
Move to approve Resolution 95.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Resolution 95. Are there any comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 95? Resolution 95 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 96.
This resolution sets a closed session immediately following commission comments at the regular City Commission meeting on Tuesday, March 18, 2025, in room 302A, Battle Creek, Michigan, to review and consider the contents of applications for the position of Battle Creek City Manager for the applicants who have requested confidentiality.
Move to approve Resolution 96.
Support.
So moved and supported to approve Resolution 96. Are there any comments by the commission? Just so the public knows, we're not sure how long we're going to be in our closed-door session. It could be 1 hour, it could be 3 hours. We could probably send someone out and give you an idea of how much longer we'll be. I'm not sure if we'll have to come back to pass a resolution. That'll all depend on the work that we accomplish during the closed-door meeting. Any other comments by the commission? Seeing none, would you please vote on Resolution 96? Resolution 96 has been approved. Next item on our agenda is general public comment. If you would like to make general public comment regarding matters over which the City Commission has control, please raise your hand and wait for us to acknowledge you to come forward to the podium. You will have 3 minutes to make your comments. Please state your name and address before making your comment. Crystal Hall, we'll start with you.
I do apologize, and
That's
thank
all
you
right.
for your grace. My name is Crystal Hall, and I own the property at 243 North Avenue. And I've owned that property for 15 years. My concern is my neighbor is bullying and harassing me. It's not just a parking issue. I've filed for 2 PPOs, and all of they're hearing is that it's a parking issue, and no one is concerned about my safety. And if he can bully me and file complaints against me, why am I not being allowed to file complaints against his business, fencing, the safety for the children that are in the program that he has? It's not my fault that he's no longer in Battle Creek Public School Systems, and so he has to use that property. But the complaint that he filed against me, I can only have 15 people in my business, so there should be some regulation for his business as well. There was something else real quick, I'm sorry. The ordinance for music. I don't play my music loud. He sits while our business is actually operating and plays his music all day. That money that he's fighting with me to use my property, he could fence his own property instead of spending $30,000 on a necklace or running his gas all day while he uses his vehicle that he has underneath his program. And if I wanted to be malicious, and I'm not naming him, I'm just asking for some help, because I follow what the police told me to do, and he's escalating against me, and I am not safe. When I leave my class, I have to leave with people with me. They make sure I get in my home, and it's not fair to me that I am going through this when I'm following what the police are telling me to do and what you guys are instructing me to do. I do thank you for the survey, but even with that, I showed a leader in the community where the city marked our property, and he hollered at me, "Get your crazy off my property," and I'm not. I should not be verbally abused and going through all the things that I'm going through. And because he does things in the community, I have too. I just don't boast about all the things. I am a pillar in the community. I have 5 different awards. I also have a proclamation by the state legislators for all the volunteerism that I do without a grant, the mother of 3 children, and took care of my 2 dying parents. And I can't get any assistance to make sure that I'm safe. I have people that work in my business that are being harassed also. We shouldn't have to have the music blasting or not be able to use the parking, which they paid lease for, because he does not park properly and does not direct his people to not use my property. I have signs up there that says private property, no trespassing. I need some help.
We'll have either the chief of police or the city manager will talk to you, okay?
Thank
After the
you.
meeting. Thank you. Are there any other public comments at this time? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Chris Mazur, and I live at 68 Summer Street. I'm in Ward 4. And what I wanted to talk about was democracy today, and I really want people in Battle Creek to participate. And I feel like I'm a senior citizen, and what I would like to say is that people are very upset about what's going on in Washington, and a lot of us are worried about our Social Security, and a lot of us are worried about our veterans, and I would like people to participate. And so I made up some flyers, and on the flyer it said who our congressman was, and who our senators are, and how to get a hold of them. And I started passing them out, and I put them on cars, and I was told, even though it was a public parking lot, that that is littering to pass them out. But the thing is, people don't walk anymore. Everybody drives everywhere. I live a couple blocks away from a Dollar General, and maybe I see the mailman walk, or maybe I see two neighbors walk. Nobody walks anymore. And so I talked to Sherry, and she talked to the city attorney, and they said that there's an ordinance that it's littering if you put a piece of paper on a windshield underneath a wiper. But the thing is, if that's littering, what about McDonald's? I mean, there's McDonald wrappers all over this entire town. You could be bicycling out in the country and there's McDonald wrappers. So I don't think that putting a flyer that tells people, here's an opportunity to participate in our democratic process, you know, call your senator. To me, that shouldn't be considered littering. That should be considered being helpful, you know. So that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you very much for coming down here tonight. I appreciate it a lot. Are there any other public comments? Yes, Joe?
Joe Harris, Battle Creek. I'm going to take a complete tangent from what I was going to say tonight, actually. Because what I had to say was kind of sensitive, so I'll email you guys what I was going to say, if that's all right. You know, in regard to flag flying, I understand that the organization is good. Nobody understands that probably more than I do. I mean, I've had 2 major heart surgeries, and so I understand that is, you know, that particular flag is a good thing, but I have to be the devil's advocate, I guess. Supreme Court decision 2022. Supreme Court ruled unanimously on Monday that the city of Boston violated the Constitution when it rejected an application to fly a Christian flag on one of 3 flagpoles in front of City Hall. Because of the city program that allowed other private groups to raise and fly their own flags was not speech by the city, the court held that the city could not refuse permission to fly a particular flag. Bottom line, it's a slippery slope if you make decisions like that, honestly. And I'm just trying to, you know, avoid, you know, future conflict from that occurring. So the other thing I got to say, I'm saying this because I don't understand how the budgets work, but you know, we talk about, you know, saving money for the fire departments, for the police departments and stuff like that for you know, like turnout gear, stuff like that they might need, updating of the fire stations. This is going from my understanding. My understanding is that how the budgets work, in particular the police budget, that at the end of the year, if they don't use all of their budget, that the rest of that money gets turned over into the general fund. That's my understanding. So my suggestion is, why can't we, if they're responsible with the money, say the fire department's responsible with their money, and they have $45,000 left over, why can't we take that $45 and set it aside for potential fire station renovations in the future, or for potential things that have to be purchased? Instead of just putting it into the general fund, put it into a separate fund if they're responsible for it. Same thing with the police. If they have extra money left over, take the money that they have left over, set it aside so that they could utilize it to help upgrade the police stations. That's just a thought that I wanted to throw out there. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Any other public comment at this time? Yes, Autumn Smith?
Good evening, Autumn Smith, Battle Creek. I'm here to address a serious issue within our police department. A pattern of criminal activity by numerous officers who, instead of facing charges, were allowed to resign quietly. This may have happened under previous administrations, but the current police chief has not only failed to address it, he's condoned it by keeping these promoted officers in these higher positions. Case in point, Clayton Denny falsified a search warrant and was allowed to resign in lieu of charges being filed, and was also left as an officer in good standing, which also allowed him to keep his police credentials and move on to the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department. We also have Joel Case, who committed excessive force on an individual, and he never faced charges. He now teaches firearms training at KCC and the Police Academy, thus poisoning an entire generation of officers. He has also been a SWAT team commander, commanding the biggest use of force unit in the department. I can name many other officers who have committed criminal activity: William Gensch, Jennifer Apple, Marie Alonzo, Jim Saylor, Chad Francisco, Kevin Stansbury, Jim Martins, Todd Matson, Andy Olson, Mike McKenzie, Bruce Penning, Jim Grafton, Matt Robinson, Sarah Bush, Grady Pierce, Sean Fowlett, John and Kathy Kronenko. Some who got away with it and got promoted, others got away with it and lied and were eventually punished only after being exposed at a later date. This isn't just a lapse in judgment, it's a betrayal of public trust. When the new chief took over, he had a chance to clean house, investigate these incidents himself, and ensure accountability. Instead, he relied solely on the word of an unqualified former police chief. No independent review, no homework, just blind acceptance. This isn't leadership, this is negligence. Legally, this raises red flags. Officers with criminal history may have violated state laws or departmental codes or policies, yet they have been shielded from prosecution or punishment. Promotion suggests that their actions were acceptable, which undermines the rule of law. The risks to our community are staggering. Officers with unchecked records could abuse their authority again, putting lives at danger. A department that tolerates this sends a message: misconduct is rewarded, not punished. That's not safety, that's a powder keg. The reputation of our police force is already tarnished. When residents hear of officers dodging accountability only to climb the ranks, trust erodes. Businesses hesitate to invest. Families question their safety, and our community suffers. This chief had a choice: uphold justice or protect a broken system. He chose the latter. We deserve better. I urge the commission to demand the chief do his due diligence and conduct an independent investigation into these officers' records. The law must apply equally, badge or no badge. Silence and promotions won't fix this. Action will. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Is there any other public comment at this time? John?
John Kennefic, 234 South Avenue. A few different subjects. First of all, in regards to littering, yes, I have read that in the ordinance that you can't put them on windshield wipers. It was illegal not that long ago for anybody to walk up to somebody's private residence and put a door hanger on that residence's doorknob. That ordinance has been changed. The government of Battle Creek can walk up on your property without a warrant and put a door hanger on, but they went beyond that. They said any utilities, electric, gas, water, we can go up there and put one on there, but if you do it, you're violating the littering ordinance. Next, I was listening to Mr. Simmons talk about the grant on the resolution, that it was $50,000. The government of Battle Creek, when this building had been rehabilitated, never put any money aside for the repairs of that building. Where did they go? They went to the state government of Michigan, which they have an historic building division. So the taxpayers got to pay for the repair of this building. There was a building in Detroit that was a historic building. No one defended it. They had it tore down. I guess it wasn't that important, an historic building. You don't put any money aside, but you get grants from somebody else, federal, state, and whatever. That's taxpayer money. It's like, oh, we're getting this thing for free. It's not costing us anything. Wrong. It was mentioned just recently about in this meeting in regards to things going on in Washington. $450,000 is paid to the government of Battle Creek from the HUD dollars. It pays for the code department. It pays for the administration of the code department. After 20 plus years, all the buildings that were destroyed and hassled by the code department could have been rebuilt, and we would have had more affordable housing in Battle Creek. Now that was just federal money. That wasn't our pension funds to those city employees that we all have to pay now too. We have got a thing here in one of your resolutions that has to do with the transit system. Originally, I thought that money was coming from Lansing to pay for the transit system in Battle Creek and other locations. This was incorrect. Money is transferred from the United States federal government through grants, which go to the local, state, Michigan Department of Transportation and other states, and there they distribute them throughout the state. In other words, our bus system cannot operate without grant money that is unfortunately a failure. No one has ever looked at the transit systems in the state of Michigan, other than myself, that show that they were millions upon millions and millions of dollars in debt. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comments at this time? Reese Adkins.
Good evening, Reese Atkins, 84 South 23rd Street. I'm going to be short and sweet. Thank you, Commissioner Simmons, for mentioning that this was a grant that was paying the $50,000. In the material, when you look on the internet, there is no backup material you can get. So when you read it, you don't know that it's a grant. So maybe next time when you have something like this and it is a grant, put something in there, not to exceed the amount of $50,000 that's paid through a grant, so that people, when they look at it, they can see, oh, this is a grant. It's not actually coming out of the city budget, because when you read that, it looked like it was coming out of the city budget, and we were, taxpayers, having to pay this $50,000 for a service that some of us don't feel is needed. So, maybe next time when this is done, it's noted in the thing that it is a grant, so we know that it is a grant. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comments? Seeing none, any commission comments? Commissioner Patrick O'Donnell.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to say earlier today I got to visit Uproot Market and Eatery down the street there, and they're starting to open soon. But what I really impressed me was they had a vendor mixer where people could come in and take a look at what they're going to put in there. And the comments that I heard from people outside the building about how great we're going to start having a neighborhood grocery store being put in is really what got to me. And so I'm just happy that someone's taken the time to invest in that area of town over there. And I would like to say that the other people out there was some other people that have been in the city for quite some time, and they were like, I remember when it was this, and I remember when it was that. And it just warmed me up thinking, I'm glad we're starting to get some investment downtown, and I hope everybody gets a chance to visit it when it opens, and we can open some more of those in the area. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commission comments? Commissioner LaCosse.
I just wanted to say I really appreciate the proclamation for the National Donate Life Month. My dad was a double lung transplant recipient, so that's very near and dear to my heart, and I would encourage anybody to really look at that and make sure you have that checked on your license if you do want to donate.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments? Seeing none, we're going to take a recess, and we'll be back. If we could be back or into the closed door session within 5 minutes, I'd appreciate it. We'll return from recess, and I would like to call upon Commissioner Lance.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to direct the interim city manager to invite candidates 4, 10, 11, and 15 to interview with the Battle Creek City Commission.
I'll support.
We have a motion on the floor, and there is support. Is there any discussion by the commission? Commissioner Chris Simmons.
All I want to say is thank you to Patsy from MML for all the hard work you put into this and helping facilitate for us.
Any other comments? Being none, would you please call the roll, Vicki?
You want me to call everybody's name?
Or unless we, can we do it on the screen?
I can try.
All
Yeah.
right.
It should still work.
Yep, we can do it.
I'm logged out.
We're all logged
That's
out.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Just give me a second.
So
Back in.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
Yes.
Oh, just worked. I think that's everybody. Okay.
The motion does pass, and we're at the end of our meeting, and we'll adjourn. Thank you very much for the extra work tonight.
yes.